Mahatma Gandhi is an iconic figure in Indian history and a symbol of nonviolent resistance. But who was the man behind the legend? What was his philosophy and how did he change the course of India's struggle for independence? First of all, it's important to note that Gandhi's life was complex and multifaceted. He was born in 1869 in Porbandar, a coastal town in Gujarat, and grew up in a Hindu family. He studied law in London, and then moved to South Africa, where he experienced racial discrimination and injustice against Indian workers. This experience shaped his worldview and led him to develop the idea of satyagraha, or nonviolent resistance, as a means of political and social change. In India, Gandhi became a leader of the Indian National Congress and began a series of nonviolent campaigns against British colonial rule. He encouraged Indians to boycott British goods, engage in civil disobedience, and practice self-reliance and simplicity. Gandhi's message resonated with millions of people who were tired of British oppression and eager to reclaim their own destiny. However, Gandhi's legacy is not without controversy. Some critics argue that he was a traditionalist who upheld patriarchal and caste-based values, and that his vision of an independent India was not inclusive enough. Others point out that Gandhi's nonviolence was not always successful or consistent, and that it was sometimes used to quell dissent or to avoid confronting systemic issues. Moreover, Gandhi's life was marked by personal struggles and contradictions. He experimented with celibacy and fasting as a means of spiritual purification. But his relationships with women and his views on sexuality have been scrutinized and debated. He also faced criticism for his views on race and ethnicity, which some saw as patronizing or dismissive. Despite these challenges, Gandhi's impact on Indian and global history is undeniable. He was a transformative figure who inspired millions of people to resist oppression and fight for justice. His legacy lives on in the movements for civil rights, social justice, and peace around the world. In conclusion, the truth about Mahatma Gandhi is complex and nuanced. He was a visionary leader who had a profound impact on India and the world, but he was also a flawed human being who faced criticism and controversy. It's important to acknowledge both his achievements and his shortcomings, and to continue to learn from his example of nonviolence and social change. Gandhi was a key figure in India's struggle for independence, leading campaigns of nonviolent civil disobedience against British colonial rule. He advocated for the peaceful coexistence of Hindus and Muslims, as well as for the abolition of the caste system, which discriminated against people based on their birth. He was also a prolific writer and speaker, and his ideas and ideals continue to inspire people around the world. Nathuram Godse was a member of a Hindu nationalist group called the RSS and an assassin who killed Mahatma Gandhi on January 30, 1948. Godse was a strong critic of Gandhi's policies, particularly his support for the partition of India, which led to the creation of Pakistan. He believed that Gandhi was appeasing Muslims and undermining the Hindu community. Godse was part of a group of extremists who conspired to kill Gandhi, and he shot him 3 times at close range. Godse was arrested and put on trial, along with his co-conspirators. During the trial, he made a lengthy statement in which he justified his actions as a necessary step to protect Hindu interests. He was found guilty of murder and hanged on November 15, 1949. Despite his conviction, Godse remains a controversial figure in India, with some seeing him as a martyr and others condemning him as a terrorist. The assassination of Mahatma Gandhi was widely condemned as a tragic and senseless act of violence that set back India's democratic progress. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay updated on all our latest content.